I'm Diane Macedo. Let's get right to our top story, that sweeping indictment of former President Trump in Georgia. The former president is now facing charges in 4 different cases as he runs for president again. The Fulton County DA is bringing charges against Trump and 18 other associates, including Rudy Giuliani, accusing them of conspiring to overturn the 2020 election results in the state. Senior investigative reporter Aaron Katersky has the latest.
Criminal case number 4, the state of Georgia versus Donald John Trump.
The indictment alleges that rather than abide by Georgia's legal process for election challenges, the defendants engaged in a criminal racketeering enterprise to overturn Georgia's presidential election result.
Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis charging Trump and 18 others, including some of his closest allies, with racketeering, calling them a criminal organization that knowingly and willfully joined a conspiracy to unlawfully change the outcome of the election in favor of Trump. The grand jury handed up the charges after dark. The indictment delivered to the clerk at 8:54 p.m., nearly 12 hours after prosecutors began presenting their case. Minutes later, it was handed to the judge for inspection.
Everything went as it should have in front of the grand jury.
Trump is charged with 13 counts in a sweeping and detailed indictment that cites acts in Georgia and beyond. In addition to racketeering, he's charged with soliciting a public officer to violate his oath, conspiring to commit forgery, and conspiring to file false documents. Before the vote, the grand jury heard testimony from several witnesses. Georgia's former Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan says he was one of them.
There's been a lot of misinformation for a number of years, and this is our opportunity to get the real story out. My hope is that Americans believe us. My hope is that Republicans believe us, that this election was fair and legal.
The indictment says Trump made multiple calls to Georgia Republicans, including a leading state senator, the governor, the state attorney general, and Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, whose phone call with Trump prompted the 2.5-year investigation.
So, look, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state.
On that call, Raffensperger pushing back against Trump's claims.
You should want to have an accurate election, and you're a Republican.
We believe that we do have an accurate election.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Also charged, Rudy Giuliani, who peddled falsehoods about the vote to the Georgia legislature.
Ruby Freeman and Shay Freeman Moss and one other gentleman, quite obviously surreptitiously passing around USB ports as if they're vials of heroin or cocaine.
Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss told the January 6th committee Giuliani's bogus claims forced them into hiding.
There is nowhere I feel safe. Nowhere. Do you know how it feels to have the President of the United States to target you?
The indictment also naming Trump's former chief of staff, Mark Meadows, who traveled to Georgia allegedly seeking access to an audit of the vote that was not open to the public. And Jeffrey Clark, a former Justice Department official who allegedly sought permission to convey false information about the election to Georgia officials. Trump has denied all wrongdoing. And overnight, the Trump campaign releasing a statement saying, in part, they are taking away President Trump's First Amendment right to free speech.
And our senior investigative reporter, Aaron Katersky, joins me live from Atlanta with more on this. Aaron, Trump's campaign says the prosecutors are trying to take away his right to free speech. What are you hearing from his allies and co-defendants?
This seems to be the way that at least former President Trump is going to try and defend himself, to say that he believed that the election was not right, and so he spoke out to try and correct what he perceived to be these kinds of frauds that he alleged and others alleged without evidence. Rudy Giuliani, his personal attorney, also issuing a statement saying that this is just a way to kind of rig the game against Trump. So they're lashing out, making political defenses largely. The prosecutor, Diane, charged this in a way that seems pretty straightforward, charging that this alleged criminal enterprise involving Trump, Giuliani, a number of other lawyers, 19 people in all, knew that former President Trump had lost but refused to accept the result.
So, Aaron, what are the next steps and what would a potential arraignment look like?
Well, all of the defendants have until noon on August 25th, a week from Friday, to turn themselves in, voluntarily surrender, or else the district attorney says she's going to seek to have them all arrested. So presumably in the coming days, we're going to see a parade of these defendants show up to the courthouse for booking and processing. They could be arraigned at a later date, actually appearing before a judge, but no dates have necessarily been firmly set. But all the defendants are now on notice, and the district attorney says, Diane, she's going to push for a trial for all 19 defendants together within 6 months, though that may be kind of ambitious.
All right, senior investigative reporter Aaron Kaczorski in Atlanta. Aaron, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.